Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is day 4. Day 4 is a port day. We're going to Skagway, Alaska. So this is the first port stop, and Skagway is actually my favorite town before when I went to Alaska 12 years ago. So for my first cruise, I went to Sitka, Skagway and Juneau, and for this Disney cruise, we are going to Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan. And Skagway is a beautiful town, so it's like a small town and it has like an old town charm. And compared to other city, which is Juneau and Ketchikan, which is more developed and more like city-like. You can see we already docked at the terminal, and then there are 2 other cruise line, and it's really close to the town. So if you're wondering, you don't need to take any bus. You can just walk to the town for about 10 minutes. So if you have a little one like me, and I suggest you to bring a stroller. So I brought my full stroller purposely for port days like this, so we can put our backpack, our like winter accessories on the stroller, so we don't need to keep carrying our backpack and our stuff around. We can just put it on the stroller. And Brandon is having a blast as well. He was sitting at the stroller for about 1 hour or 2 hours usually. But Skagway has a big playground, which I'm gonna show you later on, and a lot of kids going there just to stretch out their legs, and they're really happy. So before we board our cruise, my husband did some research and he found out that there's a playground in the middle of the town, so we can bring Brandon there. But if you don't know where it is, you can always ask the guest service, and it's actually really easy to find. It's just in the middle of the tourist attractions area. And as you can see, the view is really beautiful. The weather is so beautiful. It's like so bright. And as you can see, I'm wearing my winter coat, and my husband as well, but later on we actually took it off. It's really hot at that time. One sweater is enough, and we went there during September, so I was expecting that it's gonna be a little bit raining or it's gonna be a little bit foggy, but the weather just so clear and it's a little bit warm actually. So always dress in layers like an onions, like the cruise director said. And whenever you feel warm, you can just take off your layer, and then you can see the mountains are so beautiful. So I feel a little bit nostalgic when we arrived at Skagway, because I remember that I really loved the town, because at the time you can see a lot of shops later on, and then you can see the beautiful mountain as well. I think one of the famous excursions at Skagway is the train ride, but the train ride is about 3.5 hours long, so I don't think Brandon will stand still or sit still. I think he's gonna feel a little bit bored. He's gonna be really excited at first for the first 15 or minutes or half an hour, but later on I think he will feel bored. And remember, for the excursion you can always book it through Disney Cruise Line, or you can book it through third-party companies. Say hi, Tun. Hi. Say hi, Mickey Sheep. Say hi, Alaska. Yeah. So again, if you're traveling with toddler, remember to bring a stroller. Otherwise, you're gonna be so tired carrying your toddler if they are tired. And what else? In Skagway, we also need to move our time backwards for 1 hour. So we actually gain 1 hour when we are in Skagway. And this is the train that I talk about. And again, in Alaska you can also see a lot of helicopters, like I think 2 or 3 of them, like keep going back and forth. I think that's one of the tour or excursion in Alaska that you can choose from. And if you haven't checked out my previous vlog, which is day number 3, we went to DAWES glaciers. The weather was so beautiful as well. And for my first cruise, I didn't remember that the weather is so beautiful as like that. Alaska is so beautiful like that. I was just remembering the Alaska cruise was just so and it's a little bit boring. So I don't know. One, maybe because the weather is really nice, but second, maybe we cruise with Disney cruise this time, and it just makes so much different. And I think it really makes me really love Alaska. I can feel that, I can see the mountains, the water, and everything is just so beautiful. At first I was like just think that Alaska is just so bad because my husband hasn't gone there, and there's a cruise from Vancouver going to Alaska. That's why I want to go the second time. But this time the experience is just so different. And again, Disney Cruise Line has an amazing service, amazing shows, amazing food. So basically, even though the price is much more expensive compared to other cruise line, I would say I couldn't compare it apple to apple because it's just different. People say you're like comparing apple to oranges, because for Disney Cruise Line you're not paying for the cruise only or the food only, but you also pay for the experience and the shows. Of course, it's like just like going to the park without the lineup, because for sure for Brandon, he just couldn't line up. We tried to line up a couple times, he just couldn't stand still and just want to keep running around. And this is the town. So we have arrived at the town. You can see there's a little train that so many people take pictures, and in front of it there is a one gift shops. It's Alaska t-shirt company or something. It's really big, and I don't know whether it's the same company or not, but they also have it in Juneau and Skagway, and the price is reasonable. So if you're going there to find souvenirs, try this store because they have so many collections and selections, and the price is really reasonable. There it is. It's called Alaska Shirt Company, and it's usually big. And if you want to buy t-shirts, mug, keychains, magnets, you can buy it there. But actually for the magnets collection, I think it's just so I went to other local shops and I find magnets that I like better. But again, you can always stop there first and then compare with other shops if you want. So in every town we try to stop at GLACIER first. We just ask some questions and make sure that we don't miss out anything. And this is Red Onion Salon, which is really famous here in Skagway, and I believe they have one in Juneau as well. It's just like a little bar, a little pub from old time. And in Alaska you can find so many shops selling gems like stones, and it's really expensive, so we didn't buy any, but I'm gonna share in another video as well, but I'm just gonna mention it quickly. So basically in Disney Cruise Line they will give you a voucher. You can always exchange that with free charms. So in every city or every town we actually got so many free charms and free gifts and like free bracelets and pendant. So I'm just gonna show it to you on different video because I haven't like recorded that video yet, but that's the trick. There's couple of shops I believe that they have so many branches in other town, and at different town you will get different pendant and different shapes of pendant. Again, the gift is free and no purchase necessary to get that gift. And I believe one of the shop also give us like the Alaska coin, and Brandon really loved that one. And again, everything was so perfect, like the weather, like there's not too cold, not too hot. It's just the perfect weather, just like in Vancouver during like springtime. And also it's really bright, it's sunny, it's not foggy or cloudy. I think we're just really lucky when we go there, because 1 week before our cruise we checked the weather online. I think 2 of the towns supposed to be raining, but when we went there it was like so sunny. And this is one of my favorite store, which is called Skagway Outlet Store. I actually love this store better than the first one that I talked about, and because they have so many discounts that I also learned something interesting from the cruise staff at the cruise line. So actually the stores only open during the cruise season, which is summertime until end of September, and later on they will close it first, and then they will open next year during the cruise time again. And that's why a lot of items are discounted when we went there, were on sale. And I also learned that many people in Alaska were paid to stay there, and like some of the staff that working at the store is actually got paid to stay in Alaska. So this is the playground that I talk about. So it's pretty huge. You can see that there are a lot of slides, and this is, I don't know what's the name, I just call it Caterpillar, but Brandon is obsessed with this one. He loves to look at it. There are tons of it on the playground, so you need to be really careful. And Brandon was playing at this park for about 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and he was having a blast. So after that, he's willing to sit at the stroller again, so that's why we keep walking around. And the park is called Molly Walls Park, so I hope this will be helpful for you if you are planning to go to the playground as well. And we're just walking around in the town. We found this old pub with the history on it. And if you're wondering what's inside the Alaska Shirts company, it looks like this. They have tons and tons of Alaska magnets, so I usually like to get one magnet for each town. I also got like the Disney Wonder magnets. It's just for the memory's sake. I've been collecting magnets from 2010, I believe, when I went to Europe for my summer exchange program. So at that time I went to 20 cities and 10 countries. That's why I'm so confused what to collect, so I collect magnets. Again, just for information, if you love to collect pins, magnets or keychains, Disney stores have tons of it, and they have so many collections, and you can go bananas when you're trying to pick a couple, because it's just kind of pricey. And then after walking around for 2 hours to 3 hours, we went back to the cruise ships. So just to let you know, if you have a preschooler, usually they cannot walk for the whole day, and usually they need to take a nap as well. And I believe at one of the town we need him to take a nap first before we go out. But usually you cannot spend the whole day, and some people even leave their kids at the kids club, and the parents go for excursions. So there's other options if you want to go to excursions but doesn't want to bring your toddler. And some people also choose not to get off from the ships, and they just want to join the activities. That's okay too. A lot of activities happening at the cruise ships while we're at the ports. But just to let you know, usually the merchandise store at the cruise ships will close during the port days. And finally, we have family pictures, and yeah, it's a really amazing family trips. And there's another helicopter, so I really find that there's really a lot of helicopters and like seaplane in Skagway. In Juneau and Ketchikan, not so much. I don't know why. And I noticed that some of the helicopter also bring some cargoes, so I'm not sure, maybe not all of them are for the tour, but some of them are just like a cargo helicopter. And that's it. And later on this video, so make sure you still stay tuned. I'm gonna show you what kind of characters that are happening at the cruise ships for that day, because it's just different from the day before. It's not the regular characters, but they will have characters for Pixar party. So I'm gonna share another information. So during the port days, when you go out, you will need to bring your room key, which is they call key to the world card. And even for a child, you need to bring it for them as well. And if there's an adult, you need to bring one key to the world and also one ID with the picture. And they always check them out when you're going out and going in. And just to let you know, they're pretty safe. They have the security system, they have the x-ray if you're going inside, so they will make sure that everything is good and safe. And usually if you bought ulu knife from Alaska, it's really famous, they will hold it for you first. During the disembarkation day, they will give it to you at the terminal, so don't worry, you can still buy them, but they will just hold it for you until the last day. And we are back to the cruise, and Brandon is pretty tired already, so he will take a nap, and my husband is watching him. And we usually take turns to go around the ships like I mentioned before on my previous vlog. So this is deck 4. This is one of my favorite deck. It's just one floor down from our room, and here you can walk around. So usually after lunch, if I feel stuffed, I usually like to walk around here, and you can see the beautiful view as well. So you don't need to go all the way up to deck 9 or deck 10. You can always go to deck 4. And again, for lunch you can eat at Cabanas, or you can eat a sit-down meal at Trident's. And another tip, if you bring a child, or you can bring like a Ziploc bags, or like disposable lunch bags, or regular lunch bags, or lunch box. Usually I will bring like 2 bananas and some muffins and croissant for my son, so just in case he's hungry. I usually grab some milks as well at Cabanas during the breakfast time, so whenever he's hungry, because he can go from not hungry at all to super duper hungry in like a couple seconds, so that's why I always prepare snacks. And yeah, just to let you know, this is the painting and the arts that they're selling is on deck 4, and there's a lot of paintings that you can choose from if you're die-hard Disney cruise fans, and if you wanna put the paintings on your house. Again, there are a lot of spaces for sitting down if you want to read a book, and there's a lot of portholes, that's why it's like nice and bright. And this is the atrium again, and if you haven't watched my previous video, make sure you check them out. They decorate the atrium into like the Frozen theme, and on that day they also have the Frozen deck party, and I also have the clip and footage there, so make sure you check them out. And these are just examples of the doors where they decorate the door with the Mickey magnets, so just in case you need some inspiration, it will be good. And there are also some arts on the stairs as well. For each floor they always have Disney songs turned on, and you can also see this Alaska costume and Mickey Alaska costume that they're gonna wear, or what they wore at the DAWES Glacier, so I really love these ones. After that, I'm just grabbing a schedule from the fitness center, so I'm checking the classes, like what time are the classes for each day. And just to let you know, spinning classes, yoga, and Fabs apps are absolutely free, so you can always register the night before at 5:30 at the gyms to join the next day's classes, like in the morning. And this is Cold Cafe. I'm not a big fan of coffee, that's why we didn't go there. And an extra shot for coffee, but they say it's really good. And if you buy some drinks there, you can also get complimentary snacks, just to let you know. And make sure to check my previous video where I talk about what's the difference between deck 9 and deck 10, and where is the best deck to stay in. And this is just like the pool area, and then it's really nice and bright. And if Brandon is not sleeping, I will for sure bring him to try on the slides, because if you don't know, like the slide is not open 24 hours. The slides, I believe, only open until 3 o'clock. And if during the port days, if you're going to the port and if you're going back and it's late already, basically you cannot try the slides. And during the sea days it's actually really cold and windy, so I don't think you can actually go on the slides during the sea days. You have to wait on the embarkation day or like on the port days. And this is Tasty Delights, where you can get snacks that I talked about on my previous video. They usually have like a hot bowls, they have sandwiches, fruits and burgers. So after walking around at deck 9 and 10, after I went to the gyms, I just walked around back to the atrium because there's a lot of characters meeting. This is Duck from Life of Pat. It's actually really cute. So I actually learned a lot of the Disney characters and Pixar characters and the Marvel characters during these cruise ships, because it's just not the regular Mickey and Minnie. They have the Pixar's characters as well. I was so lucky. So Doug is actually really tired and almost got home, but I just catch him quickly and then took a picture with him. And this is Woody from Toy Story. For Woody, there's a huge lineup, so we usually cannot line up because Brandon just couldn't sit still. But actually, even though the lineup is really long, if you can wait, it's actually really nice because they actually not only posing for the photos or just signing the autograph, they actually talk with you as well. They are really into their characters. And again, whenever there's characters, there's always one crew staff, like crew member, to take care of them. Next, there are also Mr. Incredibles and Mrs. Incredible, and Brandon always know this as Jack's daddy and Jack's mother, and he is really tall. That's why it's really hard for him to sign the autograph book. And Mrs. Incredible is actually one of my favorite character because she is just really into her character and she can dance really well. On the next day, there will be a Pixar party and you can see how she moves. It's just really nice. And again, Brandon is up, so he's just enjoying the porthole to see the view outside before the cruise board again. And this is Tana's place. We are heading here for dinner, and they're having a live music every time you eat here, and it is actually one of my husband's favorite restaurants. But our first favorite restaurant is actually Animator's Palette. And in here, usually on the first day, they will play music. There's Tiana, Princess from The Princess and the Frog. She will walk around on the table and take a picture with you and sign your book. And there's the alligators or Louis usually make a little bit of appearance, but not this time. I don't know why. On the second day, when you're eating at Tiana's place, usually there's a Mardi Gras party, which is really nice. And again, the menu always changes at the restaurant, so if you're going to the same restaurant twice or 3 times, don't worry, they always have different menu and everything is so good. I believe my husband tried the New York strip and it's just really amazing. And for the desserts, it's really hard for me to decide. I usually order 3 to 5 desserts. And yeah, and somehow Brandon is really enjoying the bread, which I don't mind as long as he eats. And again, the kids activity book always different every day. They always change the activity book. They always give you crayons and they always select the crayons. I believe a little detail like that I just really love. The crayons conditions always in good conditions. There's no broken crayons, there's no bad crayons. It's always a good crayon. And again, they are having a live music. It's just music from New Orleans. This restaurant is actually inspired by New Orleans theme. You can see that Princess Tiana is singing. I really love that. And you can also see that all those 3 desserts and all of them are really good. So if you want to know how much I gained during this cruise, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on the notification button, because on the future video I will post how much I gain, how I maintain my weight, how do I watch my eat, do I watch what I eat, do I eat cakes and ice creams and steaks and potatoes. So I'm just gonna mention all of that on that video, so make sure you like and subscribe and wait for that video. Just in case you're wondering whether we're sitting at main or second seating, we actually sit at the main seating, which I'm really happy and really grateful for. At first I was like really confused whether I should book main or second, and because we booked the tickets pretty late, we can only get the second the second seating. But a couple of weeks before our boarding time, I called Disney Cruise and they put a note that I actually want a main seating and our own private table. And on the day before or one day before, they grant us the main seating, which I am really happy. And on that day, at the guest service, I also asked whether we get the main seating and also whether we got our own private table, because my husband and I are pretty shy, so we don't really like to talk much in person. So like our own table is just perfect, so Brandon will not disturb any other kids as well. And Brandon is usually really good, they always try to grant your wishes, so don't worry. And we're getting main or second seating. I'm gonna make video about that one as well to explain in details like what's the pro and what's the con. But so far I really love the main seating, because if it's on the second seating, Brandon will be just too tired to eat. And I thought we can always watch the show first and then sit on the second seating, but Brandon actually cannot really join the shows. He cannot stand still for like more than half an hour. So main seatings work out the best if you have preschoolers or toddlers. One of the famous desserts here in Tiana's place is actually the beignet, but at today I didn't order the beignet and they also don't have it on the menu. But I tried on the almost the last day, like second to last day, and it's really good. And here we got 3 desserts. Everything is just good, everything is so nice. And after that we just go to the promenade lounge, and then there's a live music going on. He is playing Disney music. And then next we go to atrium, because Brandon is really active and energetic now, so I just gonna bring him to walk around to see the characters. This is Jessie from Toy Story 4. I also love her characters. He's really cheerful. And next we also see who else? Oh, I'm gonna show you later on instead of now. Next, we're just trying to do some craft. We are trying to make the animal mask. They have about like 3 samples of animal masks, like fox, elephant, tiger, and we choose lion. And we are making the mask. And there's another Pixar characters, which is Joy with the blue hair, and he's really cheerful and really happy. And then he was holding Brandon's hand, and Brandon was having a blast, because he's happy all the time when he went to Mickey ships. And not only that, they also Remy from Ratatouille. But it's surprising to me that Remy from the Ratatouille is not that popular. People actually want to line up for another character, which is Emil. Emil, I believe, is the cousin of Remy. He is bigger and much bigger. I think instead of blue, it's like dark brown, and so many people want to take picture with him. So this is the end of my video. I hope you like this video, and if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notification button, because this is Disney Cruise part 12 and more videos are coming up, so make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.